Saying goodbye is never easy, especially when it involves parting with a beloved pet or a dear friend. The memories created together become cherished treasures, and the realization that the relationship must come to an end can be heartbreaking. Many of us can relate to this experience, and yet it remains a profound and challenging part of life. Nicole Grimes, a young girl growing up as an only child in Pennsylvania, often found solace in her imagination. However, on her 10th birthday, her world changed when her grandmother gifted her a very special companion, a Pomeranian poodle mix named Chloe. This furry friend not only provided companionship, but also became a delightful source of adventure and entertainment. When Nicole turned 14, her father's new job, which required him to work from home, brought unforeseen changes. Chloe's frequent barking, although a sign of her lively spirit, disrupted her father's work. Sadly, the family faced a heart-wrenching decision. They had to give Chloe up for adoption. It was an agonizing choice for everyone, but it seemed like the only option to maintain a productive work environment for Nicole's father. Nicole's world seemed to come to a standstill as she bid farewell to her dearest friend. She spent their final day together holding Chloe close, cherishing every precious memory they had created. The next morning, Nicole's father drove them both to a reputable local humane society to surrender Chloe. The shelter provided some comfort, but the pain of separation was still deeply felt. 8 years passed and Nicole, now 22, continued to hold Chloe close to her heart, even though she had not been able to learn about Chloe's fate. Nicole was now married and had a baby of her own, but her childhood pet remained a cherished memory. She longed for her daughter to experience the joy of having a family dog. One afternoon, Nicole decided to explore local shelters on Facebook to find a puppy for adoption. As she browsed through pictures of adorable puppies, she stumbled upon an older dog named Chloe. It felt like destiny, a sign. Although Nicole hadn't initially planned to adopt a senior dog, there was something about this Chloe that tugged at her heartstrings. Nicole decided to welcome new Chloe into her family. The paperwork was completed and Chloe returned home, bringing a sense of comfort and familiarity to Nicole, reminding her of the beloved pet she had as a child. Nicole vividly recalled the affectionate nature of her previous puppy and knew Chloe proved to be just as loving. As soon as she entered the family's life, it was all about kisses and warmth. The similarities between the two Chloes were impossible to ignore, sparking Nicole's curiosity. The more time Nicole spent with Chloe, the stronger her suspicion grew. Could this really be the same dog she had lost as a child? The resemblance and the bond they shared left her with nagging questions. She couldn't ignore it any longer and decided to get to the bottom of the mystery. Nicole took new Chloe to the veterinarian to compare her microchip number with that of old Chloe. Her husband, though initially skeptical, agreed to join her, hoping to bring his wife some peace of mind. Nicole contacted the Humane Society where she and her father had left Chloe 8 years earlier to obtain her microchip number. At the veterinarian's office, they scanned Nicole's new dog and compared the chip numbers. In an astonishing turn of events, the numbers matched perfectly. After 8 long years apart, fate had reunited Nicole and Chloe. Both Nicole and her husband were left dumbfounded, unable to believe their eyes. The evidence was clear. The microchip numbers were identical. Nicole discovered that Chloe had been adopted by an elderly couple shortly after her surrender to the Humane Society. She had lived a happy life with them until their passing, after which she found herself with another family who, regrettably, could not continue to care for her. The incredible twist of fate brought Nicole and Chloe back together, reaffirming the enduring bond between them. Saying goodbye is always difficult, especially when it's to a cherished friend or a beloved pet. The bond of shared memories makes parting even more heart-wrenching. Nicole Grimes experienced this pain when, as a young girl, she had to bid farewell to her beloved dog Chloe. However, fate had a remarkable twist in store for them, changing everything. After 8 long years of missing her dear friend, Chloe and Nicole were once again reunited. While Chloe couldn't express it verbally, her actions left no doubt that she remembered Nicole. The entire family fell in love with Chloe, unaware that she was the same dog from Nicole's childhood. Chloe showered each family member, including Nicole's baby daughter Violet, with an abundance of affection. Nicole was deeply thankful and still somewhat amazed that she had managed to reunite with Chloe after all those years. She had no intention of ever letting go of 11-year-old Chloe again. Now they could pick up right where they left off, with even more family members to love. Families that have had dogs since they were puppies often form intimate bonds with their four-legged companions. The memories created through games of fetch and tug-of-war with their furry, energetic friends result in truly unbreakable connections. A family from Texas shared an unbreakable bond with their dog, Lola, whom they adored. However, one fateful afternoon, Lola disappeared, leaving the family devastated. But just as Nicole thought she had said her final goodbye to Chloe forever, destiny had other plans. Isela Robles had a special place in her heart for Labradors. When her son Joshua and daughter Jesslyn were just a few months old, Lola, a golden Labrador, became a beloved part of their family. Lola and the two children formed a strong bond over time, with Joshua and Jesslyn considering her as another sibling. One summer afternoon, when Joshua and Jesslyn went out to play with Lola in the backyard, they were met with a troubling sight. Lola was nowhere to be found. The children searched the property, fearing the worst. Frantically, Joshua and Jesslyn informed their mother, Isela, about Lola's disappearance. Isela and her husband immediately embarked on a search, combing every inch of their neighborhood. Unfortunately, their efforts were in vain. Lola had vanished. An entire year passed with no word about Lola's whereabouts. The family reached out to friends and neighbors, but no one had any information. The mystery of Lola's disappearance weighed heavily on their minds. One morning, a phone call brought unexpected news. Isela received a call from an unfamiliar voice, an employee at Dallas Animal Services, with astounding information. Isela's disbelief was palpable as she learned that Lola had been found. Isela rushed to the shelter, still questioning whether it could be true. To her astonishment, there stood Lola, the beloved golden Labrador, with wide eyes and a wagging tail, a joyous reunion indeed. Lola had been microchipped as a puppy, allowing the workers at Dallas Animal Services to identify her as the Robles dog with a simple scan. Still, Isela had questions about Lola's year-long absence and her recent arrival at the shelter. Although Lola couldn't provide answers, the workers assumed she had been living with another family since she appeared well-fed and cared for. Isela's overwhelming joy overshadowed any unanswered questions. Eager to share the news with Joshua and Jesslyn, Isela kept Lola hidden in the back seat when she picked up her children. Their curiosity piqued. The children were left in awe as Lola leaped out of the back of the van, leading to tears of joy from Jesslyn and heartfelt hugs from Joshua. It was a dream come true for the Robles family as they were once again complete. They celebrated by taking their newly returned dog out for a play session. The mystery of where Lola had been for an entire year remained unsolved, but the Robles were incredibly fortunate to have their golden Labrador back in their lives.